Clouds hovering high, lights cut through the mist. Over Jersey skies, something feels amiss. Are they government eyes or fallen angel schemes? Tech from another realm, straight out of our dream. Interdimensional travelers breaking through the veil. Stargates wide open, they're leaving a trail. Sirens playing God, ripping holes in the code. Like Stranger Things upside down, the portals explode. Is it population control, aliens in disguise, or a mass psyop to control our minds? Every light in the sky makes me question it all. What's real, what's fake, who's behind the call? Drones over Jersey, who's pulling the strings? Government eyes are interdimensional kings. Opening portals, the upside down unfolds. Truth mafia's here, exposing what's been sold. Drones over Jersey, the story's untold. We uncover the lies, we're breaking the mold. They call it surveillance, but what's the real plot? Watching us sleep while they taking the shot. Alien invasion or a new mass plan. Population control, the fall of man. These drones ain't just tech, they're part of the design to link humanity's soul to their hive mind. CERN's a stargate, opening the abyss. Harvesting dark matter, leaving nothing to miss. They summon the archons, controllers of fate. While we look to the skies, it's almost too late. But Tommy Truthful's here with the code to expose. Breaking down the agenda, the truth always shows. Drones over Jersey, who's pulling the strings? Government eyes or interdimensional kings. Opening portals, the upside down unfolds. Truth mafia's here, exposing what's been sold. Drones over Jersey, the story's untold. We uncover the lies, we're breaking the mold. They want us distracted, afraid of the skies, while they harvest our energy, feeding the lies. Chemtrails above, drones in formation, part of the plan, a false alien invasion. What's next? A stage attack to bring us in line, using fear as the weapon, controlling our mind. But truth mafia's rising, we ain't playing the game. Tommy Truthful's exposing, calling out their names. From CERN to the drones, we connect the dots, revealing their rituals and all their plots. Drones over Jersey, who's pulling the strings? Government eyes or interdimensional kings. Opening portals, the upside down unfolds. Truth mafia's here, exposing what's been sold. Drones over Jersey, the story's untold. We uncover the lies, we're breaking the mold. If you want to find out your role in the simulation, get your personal Gematria Decode at truthfultv.com. No hesitation. The link's in my bio on Instagram, check it now. And in the description on all platforms, it's time to find out how. Truth mafia's exposing the skies and the schemes, led by Tommy.
Welcome to another episode of the Truth Mafia podcast. That was a little special intro for all this drone phenomenons that we have going on around the world right now. So make sure you smash that like button, share this video, and let's get into it. Today, the episode is brought to you through Body Align and the Energy Wellness Disc. Make sure you check out their products. The links are down below. Amazing sponsor. And they got the phone disc. You can put it on the back of your phone, protects you against these harmful EMF. One of my people said they don't ship to Canada. I didn't know that. If they don't, I apologize. There's a disc on the back of it. Certain frequencies bind it to that, helps to protect from the EMF. And then it has the tourmaline, the shugnite, all grounded up in the band. And that's surgical silicone there. So really amazing product. I got mine on right now. And don't forget to book your personal Decode. That's over on truthfultv.com. Truthfultv.com. We have two websites, truthmafia.com and truthfultv.com. Truthfultv.com is where I do all my booking. That's where we have our alternative social media platform, you know, with all this censorship. So you can share information with like-minded people over there. It's really cool. And not be censored, not have to worry about what you share. Kind of set up just like Facebook, where you have your own little area. People can follow you. It's pretty cool. So if you're new to this platform, in the movie The Matrix, there are several people who wake up from the system. They learn to read the hidden code of the green letters and numbers of the Matrix. This is not just a movie. We too have a hidden code behind everything as well, and it's known as Gematria. And again, that's on truthfultv.com. So let's get into it. Just so many stories right now with these drones, right? You got what's going on over in China. There's a huge drone narrative. Drones falling out of the sky in China. Y'all seen this? As drones are over New Jersey that are the size of freaking Volkswagens. And people are connecting them to UFOs. There's all these people doing stories on it, all this craziness. Honestly, I was trying to take a little time off and relax. And then my mom hit me up and she's like, yo, son, did you see what was going on with these drones? I'm like, Ma, I really don't watch the news. Only time I watch the news is if someone tells me something's going on, right? And then I check it, decode it, break it down for you guys, and that's about it. I can't stand their lies. But yeah, she told me to look into it. So I did, and I seen it's not just here in America. There's all this drone narrative going on everywhere. And you know me, I'm gonna go look at I really can't stand watching CNN or MSNBC or none of that stuff. So I went and watched little Alex Jiggle Jones. Now listen, he's probably a gatekeeper 100%, but he makes me laugh more than watching the mainstream media, and he puts a lot of codes hidden within his stuff. So I like to break it down and see what all he has encoded in there, considering he's one of the biggest gatekeepers in the world. Now, I know some of you may differ on that opinion. A lot of people think he's for us and he's trying to save us, and maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to save us or not. I do agree with a lot of things that he says, though, on certain issues. He was talking about Elon Musk. I got some video clips for you. We're going to get into that and asking Elon why he's never touched on the whole alien situation yet. But before we get going, this is called fair use and is allowed for purpose of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. And don't forget, guys, make sure you go opt into our 100% free newsletter, and that's on our truthmafia.com website. So that one's over on truthmafia.com. That's where you'll find all the content creators like B-Dell, Donut. There's tons of people over there, some amazing content creators. I just did one with my boy Phase One. We did one on the blood contracts, these Illuminati blood contracts that they're doing in the Fustian bargain. And what do you know? That's connected to the 128 code, guys. So yeah, man, it was a really good episode. That's available over on truthmafia.com. You can also watch it if you're on my Facebook or my Rumble or my YouTube. You can watch it on there as well. It should still be available up there, unless they took it down. I haven't checked. I hope not. On YouTube, if I get one more strike on that channel, bye-bye. I'm gone. So the good thing is, if you're on my YouTube right now, scroll down and you'll see there's two other channels that are pinned to the top of that YouTube. Them are my backup channels. So one, this video streaming to right now. The other one I haven't put no videos up on yet. I always keep two backup channels because ever since I lost my big YouTube at 150,000 followers, they've never let me get past 10,000 again. Every time I get to 10,000, boom, they just take me out. That's how you can really tell who are agents or not. All these people with all these that never lost YouTubes and have, 500,000 followers. I don't understand how they do it, but they sure don't let me do it anyways. I wish I could, but they don't let me. And the last thing we seen with that 128 code, guys, which ties into all this, the drones over Jersey, everything. Now they're starting to talk about aliens. And remember, right before that story blew up, they took over Mount Hermon, which Mount Hermon is where the 200 fallen angels descended to bring man this forbidden knowledge, right? And in Alex Jiggle Jones's video we're about to watch this clip of, he starts talking about the interdimensional entities. And it's very interesting because he shows a clip of Elon Musk's post. And Elon posted it at 12:01. 121. Oh, really, Elon? Well, CERN ritual is 121. Antichrist is 121. This is an English ordinal gematria where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and so forth. And the first case of Rona here in the United States, January 21st. So that 121 is a real big date. And then remember, 5 days after that day, Kobe Bryant dies in a helicopter crash and all that popped off. Remember? So on Mount Hermon, you see they got the 8-pointed star, which is tied to Nibiru, the star of Anu. It's over Pazuzu. He has it right over him with the winged disc, which is also another representation of Nibiru. And then when you look into Pazuzu and his wife Lamatsu, or in some cultures, it's considered his wife. In other cultures, it's considered like his arch nemesis, right? It's very weird, but she's pretty much Lilith of the Bible. She devours children, and her father is Anu. And you can look that up on her own Wikipedia. You know what I'm saying? But this story was released on 12/8, December 8th, the day Leave the World Behind came out, which is 128. And Mount Hermon is 156, guys, which 9/11 is the 156th prime number. And 156 equals 128. And remember, on 9/11, the tower collapsed at 10:28 a.m. So that was the last story we've seen with that. It had the number 33 tied to it. Mount Hermon's on the 33rd parallel, them triple sixes. They are opening the interdimensional gateways. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot to touch on this when phase 1 was on, when we were talking about the Illuminati blood contracts. I just got caught up in the conversation, and it was such a great interview that I just totally forgot to touch on this part. But blood contract is 446. Now that's a huge code, right? That's the code of the global cabal elite. And it's also the mainstream media's code, 446, guys. And guess what? Remember when they did that staged evacuation out of Afghanistan with that fake ass plane? Look at that plane there. That plane looks so fake. They had a giant 446 on the bottom of it with the 119 up top. All seeing eyes, 119. You know, it's 9/11 in reverse. But there, see the 446 I have underlined with the yellow. And then in the movie Greenland, he got the notification at 4:46 p.m. that him and his family were chosen to go to Greenland. And that's a movie about Nibiru. You guys know my theory. I think we're in some government drill. I really do. I believe all this shit, the governments are already underground. I think they got AI running the media, AI running, making movies and some more shit. Because I believe we go through these cyclical events, and the government knows it, and they're going to distract us for as long as they possibly can. And some people are starting to catch on, but most people are sheep. You know, they're just being led right to the slaughter. So the offering is 446. The dark side, watch the movie The Offering. It's a crazy one. It says no soul is safe, The Offering. And it's a pretty deep movie. You guys probably remember it came out a couple years back. But that's all tied to that 446 code. That's a huge code. Neo is 446 too, guys. So let's get into it. Let's play these videos. The first one, I had to kind of fast forward past the first like minute and a half of the video because he mentions the jabbers, and he does it in a way. Him and David Icke are both notorious for this. They'll do it in a way that, like, you know, you could speak in code. Our people know what you're talking about, but they'll just straight say it to where you're going to get taken down on YouTube if you replay that. You know what I'm saying? So I skipped past that part. And the video has nothing at all to do with it. The whole time he's talking about aliens and stuff like that, but he just throws that in there, you know, out of nowhere. And that's stuff. When they do stuff like that, it makes me think they are gatekeepers, because the average person are like, oh, he's just trying to tell the truth. No, they have certain words that they say that will get your damn video taken down. But most people ain't smart and intelligent enough to realize that. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, the solar flares, whoa, they are ramping up. Let me tell you, they're blaming these solar flares on why we're seeing the aurora borealis everywhere. But another thing with Nibiru, back in like 2011 when that whole thing first started, the dude that was talking about it back then, he said that's how you'll know when it's here. You'll start seeing the aurora borealis from everywhere in the United States. And up to that time, I thought he was crazy. I'm like, man, you ain't never seen no damn aurora borealis in the United States. And look at that. This was on 11/5, but this is trending today, right? But this video was shot on 11/5, November 5th. So why is it trending today? That was like a month ago. It's very bizarre. And 11 and look how it's written, 511, which is what, guys? Saturn. That's the number of Saturn. And when you really study the elites, they're part of this Saturnalia death cult. All the secret society stuff, the sine waves, the Freemasonic stuff, it's all tied to Saturn, the sigil of Saturn, Azazel symbol. They're not really Satanists per se. They're part of a Saturnalia death cult. That's what they're part of. It's infiltrated all three of the Abrahamic religions. So, all right, let's go. Let's go.
Stop the agenda. And, oh my God, there's all these drones. There's all these UFOs. What is it? And that's the bare minimum, I'm saying, in the last few days is this is a message to Russia and others. We got a lot of advanced technology you don't know about, and we're going to tell the public it's you. Meaning we can attack the public and say it's you, which could be the main pretext I've said for full war with Russia or China is to launch an attack and say Russia did it or China did it or whoever did it, and then say, but we can't prove it. So there's a major psyop going on here.
Alex Jiggle Jones.
I was going to bed last night.
Was you?
At about midnight. And I do this maybe a couple times a month. But I sent a note to myself, and I also wrote on the bedside table, ask the question tomorrow, why has Elon Musk, because I went and looked it up when I was thinking about this, spent about 30 minutes looking for statements, why has Elon Musk said zero? He says something about everything else. I agree with about 99% of what he says. Why has Elon Musk said zero about the UAV revolution, the UFO invasion? And that's what it is. Why has he said nothing? And I laid there in bed for another 30 minutes saying, yeah, I'm going to have the show headline tomorrow be, why has Elon Musk been completely silent and said zero about this phenomenon that has the attention of the world captured? And then I got up at 5:30 in the morning. First thing I did after I brushed my teeth, as I was sitting there at the coffee maker, was I went to X and I went right to @Elon Musk. And bloop, he just posted 3 hours before at 2:30 in the morning. He, unlike me, he doesn't sleep. And
unlike me, he doesn't sleep. What time do you post that, y'all? 12:01 a.m. Now go over on your Gematria calculator real quick. Go take a gander. And, go on truthfultv.com, truthmafia.com, click on Gematria calculator, throw in CERN ritual. Here, let me just show you real fast. Well, where are we at? Let me see how many minutes in this is so I can come right back to it. 4 minutes. All right. I'm just going to show you real quick. This is very important. All right. 4 minutes in. How the hell do I move it off of there? Hold on 1 second, guys. So you see that 12:1, right? That's when Elon posted that. Screen share. So there's a few things actually that equal this. And that was the first low Rona situation. Oh, CERN ritual. Oh yeah. CERN ritual is 121. Yeah, and that's what's going on. Watch next. That's what Alex is going to be talking about, right? You have all these different ciphers, but we're looking at the English ordinal where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. CERN ritual is 32 in Chaldean, which that's the number of the Nephilim, right? And 86 in ordinal. When did they pass the jab laws to allegedly protect the children? In 1986, which actually protect the V companies so they couldn't be sued. That's what it really was, but that's neither here nor there. And the last thing is Stranger Things, where they're opening up all the portals. When did it take place? 1986. Which, when the heck are they coming out with 5? Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Season 5, I need to see that. Season 5, where are you? I guess they said the lockdown, they all went on strike, and we just keep getting a bunch of lots. I know there's going to be so much coding in that. They say there's dragons in it, guys. I don't know if that's true, but I hope so. Oh man, that would be crazy. Antichrist. Oh, Antichrist 121 as well. Bam. Like CERN ritual. That's the number of the Antichrist, and that's in English ordinal, okay? So there you go. There's them two things. That's when you posted it. All right. Let's put it back up now. Add to state.
People said, "Oh, it's a joke." No, it's not. I'll give you my opinion, which is I know it's not my opinion because I know his views on things. I will decode this straight.
Oh wow, I didn't even see this. Check this out, y'all. Look. So 12:01 a.m. and look how many views it's got. 30.2 million to 32. So you got the freaking 121 and the 32. Hell no. That's crazy. I didn't even see that shit.
And so much more today. Big broadcast. Share those links, Paul Revere's. We are coming to you live from Starbase, Texas. Transmitting galaxy-wide.
Go ahead, put some space for us, Alex.
We are. All those AM and FM stations,
those
really? Satellites all bouncing off the planet, shooting into the heavens. Mm-hmm. All right, it is Friday, December 13th, 2024. I am your host, Alex Jones. Very blessed and honored to be here and to still be in the M4 studios by the hair of our chinny chin chin with the Democratic Party and the deep state trying to shut us down, but the federal judge shut that down. We got some updates on that for you today. I've learned a lot more, but that's going to be a little corner of the broadcast that I'll get to it maybe 5 minutes at some point because you're not tuned in really to learn about that, are you? The big question is, what in the hell's going on over every major U.S. city on a weekly basis, sometimes a nightly basis? The worst of the phenomenon is over New Jersey. But it's happening over capitals around the world. Here's some footage shot in New Jersey just 2 days ago, and that's one of these crafts that doesn't have its lights on.
Yo, that thing is big as shit. Look at it. So that's supposed to be a star. Look how big that damn thing is. I mean, that's big. What is it?
Now, I have studied this for
government, whatever it is,
40 years. And I've interviewed all of the experts that I have researched that I believe are credible, like Greer and many others. We're coming back on very soon. And one of the best researchers, a dark journalist, will be joining us coming up about an hour and a half from now. For an hour and a half, he'll be with us. So that's coming up at 12:30 p.m. today. But I have a very good idea what's going on. In fact, I know a lot of what's going on. And I can conclusively tell you that 99% of this is not other than human. That said, every ancient culture, the ancient Chinese, the ancient folks in Mesopotamia.
Now, this is where it's going to get interesting. He even shows the reptilian shit. So they're showing some reptilian shit. And he starts talking. He don't really see this one thing about Alex when he pushes the space shit. But then when he talks about the aliens, he talks about them being interdimensional and them, you know, cutting their hearts off and going into meetings with these DMT elves. And he even mentions that in here, which that part of it, I agree with them. But that's, you know, these good gatekeepers, they'll sprinkle some truth with some bullshit.
Ancient Europeans, ancient Mesoamericans, ancient Africans, all have the same stories. And all describe the same thing. And if you look at it, it's right there in the Bible. It's totally clear, and modern theologians try to do backflips and all sorts of gymnastics and acrobatics to not focus on what is all over the Old Testament. And you read Ezekiel, I mean, all of it, it's over and over again. Big giant ships land and humanoid creatures on floating platforms come out and say, get on your knees and put something in their mouth. And they take it, sweet in the mouth, bitter in the stomach, start being able to communicate with these things after they take it, which is obviously lifting the veil. And they've got all the big university studies they suppressed until about 6 years ago. I was the first to break this on Rogan before they started declassifying it, but they have equivalent to astronauts in Japan, in the US, in Europe, all over, but those are the first that came out, where they study under DMT drips and other things, mapping the interdimensional gates when the veil is lifted, because your brain blocks it from your visual systems. There's a filter so you can operate. If you're looking outside the third dimension, things would get a little bit distracting, wouldn't they? And they're having...
Now, see, I agree with that part. And King Bags, go look at what it equals, bro. It's 121. It's connected to 121. FBI agent has a Band-Aid on face. Fibonacci, 1021, 121. You know what I'm saying? It's also 2026 in squares, which if you've watched all my breakdowns, that's the year I believe they'll do the fake alien invasion. It's encoded within so many alien movies. You know what I'm saying? 2026. So I think it's going to get real bad in 2025. The Great Tribulation equals 225. That 7-year period. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. They're playing a script out of the scripture. It's all about power with them. Although there is a creator, but that's neither here nor there. 2025 through 2032 and then 2026. See, we're ramping up. We're getting ready. The programming is intensifying because we're not that far away from 2026 now, guys. But the FBI with the Band-Aid on his face, I didn't see that. But that's interesting, Band-Aid cover-up. But it equals, you know, the 121, just like Elon dropping his stupid tweet at that time.
Groups of these researchers are having the same hallucinations. They're not hallucinations. And are communicating in many of the cases with the same beings at the same time.
Yeah, they're demons, dude.
Now, there's no such thing as a group hallucination, obviously, because it's not a hallucination. And people don't need to be on...
Hold on a second. Was that a cube? Let me go back there. Was that a freaking black cube flying through the air?
At the same time.
Oh, yeah, that is a little cube. Look at it. Oh, my Lord. Little cubes, little freaking board cubes flying through the air. Talk about some Saturn symbolism right in our damn face. Look at that little cube. Look at that little flying D-wave cube flying through the air right there, guys.
Now, there's no such thing as a group hallucination, obviously, because it's not a hallucination. And people don't need to be on DMT now to see what's flying around. And it's the exact stuff that people drew 3,000 years ago in India and 3,000 years ago in Egypt and 3,000 years ago in China, and there's cave paintings in Europe of people standing on a hill, and you see flying saucers, and there's all these Aztec temples they dig up, and there's flying saucers, and there's what looks just like 747s with engine wings and windows. There's rockets with fire shooting out the bottom that look just like Starship, Elon Musk. So obviously, this is the big enchilada. And you've seen a giant long-term program in Hollywood and culture normalizing aliens and all different sorts of aliens, like the space bar and Star Wars or Men in Black. It just goes on and on and on. It's fascinating. But if you look at what's in the Bible, in Genesis, the same story, and the Jews were writing that down 4,000 years ago or longer. It's the same story being told by the Aryans in what is Iran today, by the Babylonians, by all those cultures. And they're able to decipher the hieroglyphs and other ancient languages, and it's right there. It says these entities came from, they list what stars, the entities said they came from there, and that they're here for a reason, and that they want to give us knowledge. Now, that's
fascinating, considering the fact the fallen angels descended to Mount Hermon to give man what? Knowledge, forbidden knowledge. None of their knowledge turned out to be any damn good. You know, they gave us knowledge how to make weapons, how to do war, how to murder each other. Nothing too popular, nothing great.
All of the ancient legends. So when you see a bunch of things that look and behave like what people wrote about and told us thousands of years ago, and you look at medieval paintings at the Vatican and medieval paintings that hang in Paris, and you pull these up, and just medieval paintings that show UFOs, and these are documented paintings that have been written about for hundreds and hundreds of years, that are hanging. They weren't recently made in the last 100 years, and it'll show the star that led the wise men to Jesus, one of the famous ones, and it shows a perfect gray flying saucer with portals flying above them in the manger. And you look at it, and it's the exact thing people have been seeing, recorded continually throughout history, but really showing up.
Oh, what did he say? The star that led Jesus. Oh, what star is that? The 8-pointed star. Then what did he mention next? Portals. Go read my 8-pointed star blog on truthmafia.com. It's all tied to portals. That's what it is. That's what Nibiru is. It's a dimension. It ain't a freaking planet. It's Dimension X.
In big numbers at the end of World War II. And the pilots reported this as well. Yeah, you've got the knowledge of the Dogon tribe, what the aliens reportedly told them, and then you can't even see that star system where they say it is with a telescope, with a normal telescope, but now they can.
Now they can. Remember we talked about them the other day, guys, the Nomo people, and they were them aquatic entities. That was in the movie Black Panther, the Nomo. So some other type of freaking demonic entity. I don't trust none of these damn things. They say the Nomo are good. Well, I wouldn't trust them. You know what I'm saying? Anything that looks like a freaking fish, mermaid, reptilian, I'm cool on that thing. No thanks. But there's your Jesus fish. Has nothing to do with Jesus. It's Dagon. It's Oannes. That's why they worship it. Like the video I just shared on my Facebook that went crazy viral. You seen all that weird stuff that they were doing at the Vatican? And I just shared that video like just being funny. I didn't even realize the damn thing would go viral.
And then the whole culture is about being visited yearly by these things. But it's the Sumerians, and I've read a lot of books and checked it out for myself and confirmed it's in the Royal Museum in England, and it's in the German museums, and it's in the Vatican. Ancient idols that are humanoids with spacesuits on.
Well, I can always tell.
And we can go over all that and show all that, and we'll do that when our journalist comes on in about an hour and 20 minutes. So you can look at all this and say, oh, it's all human. And then when I look at 99% of what you're seeing, I mean, I played this a bunch yesterday. We'll play it again, but it's a nice, clear night a few nights ago in New Jersey. Thousands of people posted, the same video from different angles. And you can see the craft accelerate from the ground. You can see them. You can hear what sounds like jet engines. And they all go up to about 10, 15,000 feet and sit there and just hover. And then so many of the drones that have popped up that have been caught by the military and others in Iraq and Afghanistan and other places, you look at them and it looks human. It looks like a platform moving quick with a bunch of antennas and communication stuff hanging off of it. Probably got a turbine or turbines in it. It's just a normal big drone with a lot of equipment on it. So you look at this, and we've got some real leads on things.
You know what that looks like to me, guys? And yes, I have heard that story about the old guy that went to Agartha, and I believe in inner Earth. You know what this looks like, guys? Plasma. And plasma, there's so many amazing books out here on plasma, and they say angelic entities are made from this plasma energy, and so are demonic. That's how they disappear. You know what I'm saying? Reappear. That's just my opinion, though.
There's a big air taxi company with a lot of big funding behind it that's based right there in New Jersey.
I couldn't believe he showed this. I'm like, oh, shit. Now Alex is showing the reptilians. This is one of my favorite. This is a real statue. And they've been worshiping these reptilians, since back in the day, man. That's what I think that if you look into the archons in the Gnostic text, so what they did with this whole alien word is they just took a demon and then renamed it alien, which take the A. Look what it spells, a lie. They're demons. They're serpents. It's the same thing. It's these reptilians, the archons. That's what they are. That's what they are. And the DM technology is all tethered to them. They've tricked humanity to tether the technology to them. Archons tethered to technology 322, which is the number of skull and bones. And the Lord God said, now man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take from the tree of life and live forever. That's talking about transhumanism. They've totally tricked us to merge with this technology. Oh, I forgot about this movie. I got to rewatch this one. Remember this one, guys? Watchers. That's that 49 code. So you got CERN ritual in English ordinal, right? Where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, so forth. Then you got reduction, which is a different cipher for the new people. This is called Pythagorean. And you see CERN rituals 49 in that one, which Antichrist is 49. And remember, it was 121 in English ordinal. That's the number of dimensions, watchers. 41 equals 49, gene decode, hydrogel, mark of evil. I'm not going to say the bottom parts, but on 4-9, that was the day DMX died. Prince Philip died, who's the Duke of Edinburgh. And you look into the old Scottish flags and there, it's the X, and that was on Little Nas X's birthday. And the X represents Osiris, the resurrection of Osiris, the resurrection of the Antichrist. 41 is all tied to CERN, Switzerland, CERN. But then 41 days after the 2017 Great American Eclipse, that was Route 91 Harvest Festival, the shooting in Vegas. 41 days before this eclipse this year, we had the fires pop off in Texas. And in front of the Georgia Guidestones, when they blew that bitch up, which was 18 hours after CERN broke the world record in energy, remember? Which is 18 is what? 6 plus 6 plus 6. 18 hours later on 7/6, George Bush's birthday, boom, they blow the Georgia Guidestones up. There's a bomb. You can find this on the internet. Type in bomb truck in front of Georgia Guidestones, and it has the number 401 on it, which is 41. I forget. I was watching an alien thing last night. There's something tied to the aliens that happened in 1941. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I will figure it out and get back to you on that. Because I was thinking, oh, shit, that's that whole 41 number we keep seeing over and over and over again. It's a number tied to Skull and Bones. President 41 was a Skull and Bones member. Who was that? Bush's dad, remember? That was a crazy movie, The Watchers. And what were they? Some shape-shifting entities that watched us, pretty much fed on us, kind of.
And I'm going to get to that a little bit later. That has the promotional videos that act and behave like what you just saw, that we just showed on screen from New Jersey.
Try to mimic us.
But here's the issue. Why they still have to get FAA flight plans when they do all that? So why would they not get the FAA flight plan? Why would they then do this? And then why would the government not send up aircraft and order them to land and then expose it? Because my dad's a pilot. My uncle was a pilot, helicopter and aircraft. And a lot of my friends are aviators. And so I know the basic rules about it, how it works. And anybody can check this out. It's not my opinion. If you don't know about basic aviation, that let's say you're in a helicopter, and I've done this, you've seen us do it, to go be on Crowder, and all the roads are closed, but I was still scheduled to be on it, so my buddy's got a helicopter. He follows a flight plan. Normally you have to do that, but if you're going into a big city, you do. You've been down to the border to cover it, you radio ahead, you let them know, they ask you questions, you tell them what you're doing. And they're talking to you when you're coming in. And if you just show up and don't talk to them and start flying into downtown Dallas, they'll say, hey, who are you? What are you doing? Identify yourself. Where are you going? Where are you coming from? And then if you don't start responding and you start going anywhere near critical infrastructure like a military base, which these are over, within usually just 10 minutes, there is a fighter jet flying right up for a visual 50 feet away looking to find out if you've had a heart attack or whatever's going on. And then if they see you slumped over the Cessna or the helicopter or whatever, they'll wait, and if it gets near a crowded area, they might shoot you down. If not, they'll just wait, like the famous golfer, I forget his name, the jet depressurized, and they didn't shoot down, they followed it and waited until it crashed in a wooded, unpopulated area. But if you're over a military base flying around and doing maneuvers and you don't respond, it is the default to shoot you down. So, the critical nuclear weapons bases in the U.S. and Germany, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of admitted events in the last year. They're happening every couple days right now, where sometimes 15, 20, 30, 40 large craft, by large, they're not little drones, 10, 15, 20 foot long, show up and then hover around the nuclear weapons depots. Ladies and gentlemen, if you approach a nuclear weapons base and you don't start identifying yourself when you pull up to it, they're going to pull guns out and point them at you. And if you make any false moves, you're going to get filled full of bullets.
Hey,
in fact, people get shot. You see it.
Remember what I told you guys? Since day one with all this alien shit, have you ever noticed they've always connected the aliens to the nuclear stuff? How many stories are out there where they say aliens show up and shut down nuclear silo? I've been talking about this for a while now, right? And I kept noticing the codes are connected. So this is what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to do a nuclear event. Then the alien invasion is going to happen. The aliens will show up after the nuclear event, Project Bluebeam, whatever you want to call it. And that's when the whole, tribulation part starts. That's my theory anyways.
The news.
What the hell happened there?
100% crystal clear with just a simple.
Hold on. I remember where it just was. Here we go.
Got a helicopter. He follows a flight plan. Normally you have to do that, but if you're going into a big city, you do.
No, we were way past that. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell just happened there.
Or whatever's going on. And then if they see you slumped over the Cessna or the helicopter or whatever, they'll wait. And if it gets near a crowded area, they might shoot you down. If not, they'll just wait, like the famous golfer. I forget his name, the jet depressurized.
Yeah, we were almost at the end because this is close to the end. So we had to be close to the end.
Show up and then hover around the nuclear weapons depots.
Oh, that's what happened. It ended. It ended and started over. Oh, okay. All right, my bad. Duh. So I got more, don't worry. Now, this one I got to be careful. When it gets to 3 minutes in, I got to put an overlay over the video because when Stephen Greer is talking, they show a bunch of videos of people getting the shit beat out of them, and we'll get taken down on YouTube. So I'm going to just put like an overlay. It's only for like 20 seconds that I'll have to cover it up, but we'll still be able to hear what they're saying. And then I got a couple. Man, how many more videos do I have? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here we go. Here's the next one.
Morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing.
You can see this thing comes down over through the valley and in the valley, and then it turns and it comes straight. So something traveling that fast, turning at that speed, that low, is just insane.
This seems potentially like one of the biggest stories of my lifetime. And I don't care if it's about UFOs or whatever you call it. Something that we don't understand is getting very close to our military aircraft, and the government isn't responding adequately, and I hope you keep sounding the alarm on this.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My God. It's rotated.
I think it will take congressional hearings to get to the bottom of all this.
This is the next big thing that they want the public to be afraid of.
Well, they fired this electromagnetic weapon. They collided. 2 went down near Roswell, and 1 wasn't found until 1951 up in the northern New Mexico desert. Everyone wonders why this conservative Republican president named a 5-star general, Eisenhower, said on his last speech to the nation.
This is weird too. Why is this video going viral today when this video was shot? I remember when they did this video. Remember, guys? It was a couple years back because it was right after they released that video on 4/21 where Greg Reese released a video showing Project Bluebeam. That video that I always show clips of where they said that they can use direct energy weapons and kill us within a week with Project Bluebeam. That this video released like maybe a week after that. So that was 4/21 of 2020. And now it's going viral again. It's kind of bizarre.
As he left office, beware the military-industrial complex.
We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
He wasn't talking about his brethren in the military rank
No, he
and
said
file.
a technological elite in control of it.
We must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
People don't realize that Eisenhower, on his watch, lost control of the technology transfer issue around ET spacecraft. They circled the wagons and cut him out. So that's where I get into the Majority Intelligence Committee, MAJIC. It's pronounced MAGIC, ironically, or not ironically. And that is a blend of both corporate and government programs. And I've met with a number of them who are involved at that level. And they all have this agenda to want to control the world through one calamity.
Oh, here, this I got to cover this part. Boom. Okay, now it's going to get crazy.
After another. And the big one they've been planning is to host sort of an alien threat from outer space. You know, Werner von Braun back in the 70s on his deathbed told a member of my team that there was a long-term agenda to hoax a threat from outer space so that sort of the uber global elite, who are really fascists, wanted to take over the planet and unite humanity, not in love and peace or spiritual development or anything nice, but around a fearsome.
Now, in the background, as he's talking about this, there's just like riots going on. They're showing the George Floyd riot. People are getting stomped out, beat up. If I would show that on YouTube, I'd be taken down. That's why I put the overlay there.
Is sort of police state conditions, and that they would go through a number of protocols to do that. First, there would be, of course, the Cold War, which they would wind down, replace it with global terrorism, and then global financial chaos. And then the big one, which is the one that they're working on most, that's been very covert in these unacknowledged special access projects, is this hoaxed alien threat. All of this is basically a dress rehearsal for what's coming, and people need to wake up.
Now, it is kind of interesting that Mr. Stephen Greer, because he's like a huge alien guy, right? And then he's talking about the hoaxed alien threat. I don't know what to think about that. What do you guys think about that part?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, we don't care about your products. Okay, now we have, wait, there should be two more. Oh, this one, I forgot to rewind it. That's why. Okay. This one, and then we have the one where they show up at the White House. Now, when they showed up at the White House in the 50s, that's trending today too. All these videos I'm showing you, they're all viral today on Alex's channel. Right. And all of them are recent, except that one I just showed you. That's from when I told you it's from. But where they showed up over the White House back in I think it was 51, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was Germany, guys. I think that was the Germans and you know, Adolf and his crew. I think he's like, yo, it's time to get down or lay down now. Because Admiral Byrd went down there chasing them. And I'll play this video and then I'll try to find, I have this full Admiral Byrd because most people just show you clips. I got the full scene. I'll try to find that for you real quick while this is playing.
Musk as well, because Musk, if you go through his X threads there, on September 30th, did in fact put out a post that said, drone swarms are coming and they're going to be beyond belief. Now, that's a prediction that he made back there September 30th.
You're right, I'm wrong. And it was in connotation, I think, to China and saying the F-30 whatever is a piece of crap. You're right, he did say something. Guys, pull that up. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me because, you know, he's got that inside track. There's no question about it. Now, I've put on the record before that he can't say anything about UFOs given his position, and that's a problem because he certainly knows a great deal about them, but he can't talk about them because of his relationship with the government in space. And, you know, he's privatized. There's no doubt he's trying to get more inside that government box with Trump, but it's a private organization, SpaceX, let's remember. And there are groups out there like DARPA, et cetera, that you need agreements with just to operate up there. And you need those agreements with the Air Force and the Space Force. So there's no way that he can let things out, as it were, and talk about the UFO file, although he knows a great deal about it. There's another thing about the types of imagery that they collect. And if the U.S. spy satellites are collecting those and SpaceX collects them, then they have to turn all that over. So I do think what we're looking at here is something which I've tried to put on the record before, which is they've created a UFO threat. And the UFO threat gives them the ultimate ability to call in an emergency powers situation and activate a continuity of government program. That's the kind of crisscross that's been building up in the background. And on some level, it's a high-risk gamble on their side. So there's been a lot of trial balloons in relation to this. Now, when we look at the New Jersey situation, it's interesting that a lot of this started right in Monmouth. And if you go into the history of Monmouth, that's where the exotic technology was developed very early on. And they shut that base down once it became known. And it's very interesting if you go through it now, because just recently Netflix bought 300 acres over there in Monmouth. And, you know, we have all these unusual things with Netflix around the UFO file. For example, President Obama financed a movie about Betty and Barney Hill and their abduction experience. So there's something major going live. What I see technically happening, though, with the drone swarms and with all the reports and how there's a split between what the government is saying, which is total whitewash and absurd, that it's just planes, et cetera. No, people don't, you know, people are used to planes. This is definitely a drone swarm, and it's a test. And the question is, will that test go live into a full-blown emergency powers situation? That's the activation that the person who set that up, they want to go beyond, they want to go to the third level of this and get into emergency powers. Once you have emergency powers activated, then Gregory Gio, who is the general that runs NORTHCOM, and he also is in charge of NORAD, and he's the COG combatant commander, he becomes the complete ruler of the United States and sets out regional governors. And the regional governors that he sets up are supposed to be there until we can have an election sometime after the alien invasion eases up. But, you know, definitely what they're doing with the drones, you know, yes, we know drone technology, so they're UFOs, but they're technically known. And the problem is what they need to do is roll this out and get the test back and get the type of data back that they need. And then they can see whether or not they can make this test go live. And when we've seen drills and things in the past that went live, if you look at all the deep events through history, whether it's 9/11 or the different financial crashes and things, there's always a drill that's taking place, as we know, close by. And so this is the drill. But I'll tell you, it's so dangerously close to that line of the UFO threat thing that's been pushed by the intelligence community. And they've sent a lot of people out there running these congressional hearings, especially in the past 2 years, but from 2017 and the New York Times article on UFOs. The drone swarm, and it's interesting because that's the UFO swarm right there. And what they're doing with the drones is reenacting this idea and putting it over people who, you know, we understand that it's drone technology, but the genuine UFOs and the way that they act and they operate, there is crossover. Because if you look at some of the stories out of New Jersey, you will see people saying, I missed time when these things showed up. There was a couple who came forward and were talking to a news station there, and they said, suddenly we had all this electronic failure. So there's an effect outside of the development process of the UFO file when they re-engineer it. And I call the effect apothium, and it creates a reality distortion effect, which is one of the reasons for the high level of secrecy around this stuff. Yes, exactly. And if you go, I mean, you can track through the history. They had a huge swarm over the White House in 1952 That's how far back we're going with this. One of the things that changed in the policy right around the 50s was something called the Kinross incident, because they started to see the UFOs merge together on radar and take off. Before, they had never seen that. So it went into a whole different level of classification. And it's very interesting because that level of classification created a group called X-Protect. They are the ones who have designed the misinformation programs and stonewalled the public for 70 years on this.
I mean, look at this footage from 1953. I mean, that's real footage. I mean, look at that.
Oh yeah, that's incredible. That is the drone swarm, and it's interesting because that's the UFO swarm right there. And what they're doing with the drones is reenacting this idea and putting it over people who, we understand that it's drone technology, but the genuine UFOs and the way that they act and they operate, there is crossover. Because if you look at some of the stories out of New Jersey, you will see people saying, I missed time when these things showed up. There was a couple who came forward and were talking to a news station there, and they said, suddenly we had all this electronic failure. So there's an effect outside of the development process of the UFO file when they re-engineer it. And I call the effect apothium, and it creates a reality distortion effect, which is one of the reasons for the high level of secrecy around this stuff. When they get around it and they say, well, torsion physics makes nuclear explosions look like a firecracker. This is the nature of the technology. That type of physics warps reality. And that's why when you have around the UFO file, you have a number of unusual things. When people are abducted, they go through things, they disappear out of their car and then are placed back in their car. 8 hours go by and they don't know where they've been. All those types of things are all reality distortion effects. That's why they have to get such highly trained individuals to even work with the things that they recover. So now I think what they're trying to do, and I think one of the craft that they redeveloped, I actually put it in my X thread, which is the Calvin UFO, which is a photo that they suppressed from 1990. And they finally let this thing out. But I think that it shows their version of trying to control these massive ships and what the way that they're trying to do it. And they want to make sure they can do it without this apothium effect overflowing and creating all these physics disturbances. Because what happens is whenever you see a UFO showing up in these various areas, you get blackouts, you get people missing time, you get things disappearing, you get animals disappearing. I mean, all these unusual things show up. And then if one of these craft ever land, one of the odd effects that takes place is nothing ever grows there again. So, we have to realize that we're looking at a totally different level of technology to start with. This is incredible. So this was a shot taken by a witness of a craft that was, as you can see, about 4 times larger than a plane. And it was accompanied and it was moving at incredible speeds, and the plane was trying to keep up with it. What they did was they suppressed this picture from 1990, and it went underground for 30 years. It got re-released in 2022, and it's one of the best photos of a plane either accompanying or chasing UFO. What I got into detail about it, and I got the negative of this picture, by the way, it's very interesting. But what I got and what I heard about the witnesses and the story behind it is that this was actually a test, the Calvin UFO. And what they were doing is we had this craft and it was in pretty good shape, and they decided to try and fly it, and they had problems with it. And you see a plane accompanying it. It's not actually chasing it. It's keeping up with it and trying to sort of guide it as it goes along, because what they've had trouble with from this whole period is when they've redeveloped the craft, it has this apothium effect, which is highly unpredictable. And so when we get into those situations where we're redeveloping it, sometimes they have to show it publicly, which is what I think the Phoenix Lights was in 1997. Part of the technology that they need to roll out is, we call it the breakaway tech. This is the nature of the thing. It's X technology inside the UFO file. So, for example, the things that Tesla developed, and there were other things that Einstein developed and others were referred to. A lot of this is referred to later if you look at people.
Yo, you know what I just noticed too? Okay, I want to see if anybody notices it. Let me look at the comments real quick. What do you guys notice right now? Pay attention. What do you notice going on right now? Come on, someone make me proud. And I noticed it right away, but when I just paused it a minute ago, I brought up two things, but I had my microphone muted, so you couldn't hear me. I mentioned that 32 we seen on the screen, which is tied to the Nephilim, but this has nothing to do with numbers. Well, oh, there's my girl, Sonia. Shout out to her. The Wizard of Oz in the background. Great job, Sonia. And what is trending all over the world right now? Wicked. So he just happens to have the Wizard of Oz up. And remember what I taught you guys the other day with the Wizard of Oz? It's used a lot in what? Trauma-based mind control. Trauma-based mind control. Yeah, Wizard of Oz right there. You know, that's ad placement. You know, when they do this all the time. They think they're slick. Psychological warfare on a crazy level. The dark journalist. I don't trust this gentleman.
Like President Trump, when he was giving briefings when he was president in his first term, he would say, we have planes that can go invisible. And then they would say, oh, no, that's not true. He didn't mean that, whatever. No, he did. They do have invisibility. And this is the nature of using that technology. So that part was developed early on.
And the camera does go with it, Don. A good catch.
And Einstein and Tesla, both of them were involved in it. They used the Tesla technology, and Einstein was, of course, deep inside that. The invisibility technology is interesting because you see things about the drones disappearing. So I believe that it's a test of that. They say the F-15s have invisibility technology on board, but it's unstable. It's not fully worked out on our side. There was a guy who came forward, Colonel Philip Corso, who said that the things that we developed on the inside, which were some of the fastest manned space planes, were all about chasing UFOs. So X-15s and these planes were all developed for that specific purpose. And it's very interesting. If you go back and look at it in the history side of it, Gorbachev, actually, the former leader of the Soviet Union, came here to New York, and that was in 2013. And he talked all about how Reagan took him aside during their meeting in Reykjavik and said, we need to create and develop this whole SDI block against this UFO threat. Will you help us if they attack us? And then he went on record with that. Everyone in the room was freaked out when he said it.
Project Mars. Hey, what book is Elon Musk in? Or remember his name? Ain't Elon's name in some book that has to do with Mars? Does anybody know? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I thought his name was in some book that is tied to Mars. I could be mistaken on that.
But it's on record, and we know that it's true.
Please go to thealexjonestore.com. I am so glad this is back.
No, thank you, Alex. We will not be going there anytime soon. Okay. Now, let's put in these other videos I just got. And hold on. The one is kind of scary. I want to show you this first. I meant to show you this the other day, and I totally forgot this one.
Then created a machine that goes around and pick dead bodies up. Now, I'm highly confused.
Now, why did they create a machine like this, guys? Unless they're planning on there being a lot of dead bodies in the street. My dude right here, you guys should follow him. He's funny as hell. Wisdom Blast on Instagram. He's out in Thailand all the time and shit. He got a little mansion over there. He says it's super cheap to live out in Thailand.
Used on why would we need this? Unless, they expecting bodies that need to get picked up. Like they on just the street or something, just laying down. And I don't know why, but I just get, evil villain vibes from this. Like a whole body bag robot is absolutely diabolical. Like not calling an ambulance, but pick them up like roaches that's on the street. And people like to call other people superstitious, but answer this question. What is this used for besides the battlefield or an event where there's bodies laying all over the floor? And the times that we living in, I couldn't put it past them. Definitely living in some strange times. But I'm curious though, y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this video in the comments. What is this machine used for?
That is bizarre. They got it over in China right now. I mean, that's crazy. I meant to show you guys that days ago, but I've been a little busy and occupied. I'm actually writing a book right now, and it's on MK Ultra mind control. So I've been tied up with that. But hold on, here's the other one. I got two. Wait, bird, flat. Well, this one just shows flat Earth. This is the wrong video, but that doesn't matter. That's a good video too. Look at that. The map of we definitely live in some type of enclosed organic simulation. It ain't like they tell us. Here's the Admiral Byrd one. Here it is. Here it is. Sorry, guys.
Not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime. Because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources. And in the future, I can see a time when it will be very, very important. We had added nearly half.
Listen, when he said they went down there, they said there was freaking crafts coming up that were just taking his crafts out. They were running into visible force fields, and they found a way into inter-Earth and on the other side of this giant ice wall. So not only do we live in some enclosed organic simulation, it's probably like a snow globe, guys. Remember the new red one me and Jay broke down, which, by the way, got like 50,000 views on my Facebook thanks to you guys. Remember how they were catching the people from the naughty list and putting them in them snow globes? We probably live in something like that, where the plane is flat. There's land that we're not allowed to go to, and then there's a whole underworld too. And it's some type of kind of holographic. It's some type of computer simulation, but it's coded at the speed of light, so there's no way to escape it or get beyond it without breaking that code. You have to go beyond the speed of light to travel, and you ain't shooting in a rocket going to the moon. You travel through stargates or through wormholes interdimensionally. That's what quantum physics shows. I mean, that's what the mathematics proves. But, you know, what do I know?
A million square miles to the Pacific Ocean. And here is our journey's end. At length we sighted that great natural phenomenon, the ice barrier. As we started alongside the barrier with our ships, suddenly the edge...
Look at that freaking edge. Now, where's something else they showed us this at, guys? What movie? Think of a series that was super famous that they showed us a huge ice wall. Not only did they show us a huge ice wall, they showed us massive Nephilims in it too. Oh yeah, good job, Matrix Codebreaker. Game of Thrones. And remember, there was 19 castles on the ice wall. 19 castles, one of their favorite numbers. AI's 19. We're on a 19-year metonic moon cycle. Corona 19 happened 19 years after 9/11, after the 19 alleged hijackers brought down the towers. And chaos. Chaos is 19. That's part of their chaos magic. But yes, sir, you're 100% right.
It's off limits!
Why? What's over there?
Nothing. It's dangerous, that's all. You've got to know your limitations, children.
And then suddenly, after he made these claims, there was an Antarctic treaty between all these countries, and suddenly nobody's able to explore Antarctica anymore. After this big name military guy comes out on national television saying that there's more land and more resources, suddenly it's closed off from the public, and the only way that people can go there now is on these pre-approved tourist tours that they have, where you go pet a penguin and touch the little barbershop pole that they've called the South Pole and be on your way home. But they don't allow independent exploration of Antarctica, so we can actually see this, whether Admiral Byrd was telling us the truth when he said that there was another continent on the other side of Antarctica the size of America. I don't know, I haven't been there. Just like people say, is it an infinite plane? Is there an edge? Is it a dome? Is there a barrier? I don't know. They won't let us go.
It's not that we believe something ridiculous and you don't believe it. It's not about that. It's about we actually don't know what we're on, and we always say that. We don't know, but based on all the shit that we got by the mainstream, we don't believe that. You believe that. You believe that.
Admiral Byrd.
Don't know what we're on, and we always say that. We don't know what we're on, and we always say that. We don't know, but based on all the shit that we got by the mainstream, we don't believe that. You believe that. You believe that.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, guys? Sorry. But anyways, I made this video with AI. And I didn't share it because I'm working on something that I'm creating a video showing what I believe the world is, and that it's some type of enclosed organic simulation. But think about this. If I could make this with freaking AI, and you could make this over on NVIDIA AI, they have a prompt and you just use that prompt and you can make the same video. You know what I mean? So think what NASA has and what the hell they can make, guys. If you could make this, if your 6-year-old kid could make this damn thing, I mean, it's not hard for them to fake it, right? And look, they gave us AI recently. Within the last 5 years, we got it, but they've had AI probably, I would say, 30 to 50 years ago now. What do you guys think? Can't hear you now. Oh, you can hear me now. Good, 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 good. Yeah, sorry there wasn't no sound at first. I had the freaking microphone paused. That was my bad, guys. But yeah, it's just crazy how you can fake this stuff. And for people to think, oh, well, how do they get this image or that image, or how do they get this video? Well, easily. How did I get this? I made it with AI. That's all you got to do. It's very simple. And their AI is so much more advanced than ours. So how many times have they showed us videos like, remember the freaking fly on the rover in space, guys? Remember that shit? Oh, AI is a big problem, Warren. It is a big problem. It's getting better and better. Like in video AI now, bro, it's getting so good, but they're cracking your head. Like if you want to make the video from scratch and have AI completely make it to where it's not what's that called? To where it's not taking a bunch of stock images and putting them together and creating a video like that. You see how the AI does that sometimes? It'll take stock videos from like Canva or Photoshop and then put a bunch of them together. No, it takes this and creates it right out of its little AI Nephilim brain, and it totally creates it. Look at that. That was supposed to be Bruce. Damn it, what's his name? The guy that's in Die Hard. It was supposed to be him in space, but it didn't come out too good. So, but still, you get the point. All their stuff is so CGI, and within another year or two, think of how far advanced AI is going to be. And this is just the AI the public's getting. You know what I mean? It still has some kinks it's got to work out and little stupid things that you can tell, like right there in the face. But I'm telling you right now, Hollywood and the government, they have AI. Dude, with this in video AI, guys, this is a 5-minute video. It shot a 5-minute video with the whole script to it. I didn't play the script because it's kind of stupid. But you could shoot whole movies, 12-minute movies. So if they're giving us technology where I can make a 12-minute movie that the AI completely creates, directs, makes the characters up itself, everything, think of what they have. I've been telling people this for a while now. 99%, I'd say more, probably 100% of the movies we're watching are all created by AI. I really believe that with all my heart, guys. I do. Now, there's some good ones. There's some good ones out. There's sound. If you don't got sound, they cut your sound off because the sound is me talking. I don't want to play the original sound. It's just a script. I was just making a point with the video. That's all. As long as you can hear me, that's all that matters. And you see, because that's moving. So yeah, audio check. We're good. But yeah, it's getting crazy out here. So you guys want some recommendations? Oh, let me pull up the movie site. Now I'm not gonna say the name of this movie site because they'll take it down. So hopefully you guys are smart enough to look up at the where you see the name of a site, like right up here. You can see I'm on StreamYard, right? Well, you guys can't see that, but If you're on Google, you look up, it says www.youtube.com. So when we're over on this other site, hold on, I got to download Brave real quick. Give me 1 second. I just had a factory reset my computer right before I went live, guys. So, but I want to give you some good recommendations to watch. What the hell is that? Whoa, what was that found under the ocean? That's the real space under the freaking ocean, right? That's what they're not telling us. They say they've only how many steps did I do today? Damn, 7,000. They said they only discovered they've only explored 3% of the ocean. Now we know that's a lie, probably. I mean, everything they tell us is a lie. So I don't believe nothing they tell me. I'm downloading the Brave search engine. Here, I'll just let you guys see everything I do. That way you know how to do it. Present, screen share, entire screen, boom, wait a second, entire screen, yes. Share that. Share, okay. Brave. Install. Wait, I already did this part. Oh, well, I guess I did not do that part. Just trying not to install it or something. Yeah, look, it doesn't want to install it. What the hell is going on here? Why will you not install it? Huh. See details. What do you got going on? Couldn't install. Something happened. Yeah, what happened is I'm on a live and you don't want me to show this. See something. Haha. It installed anyways, you little bastard. Let me see something here, guys. Just I renamed the computer Truth Mafia. It used to be something very negative about gang stalkers. I'm glad it's not that no more because I would have gotten in trouble. Oh yeah, I'm using way too much data. I'll tell you one thing, their VPN is pretty good. See, look, guys, I'm triangulating in multiple different locations at once. So I'm in Denmark and Switzerland at the same time. You see that shit? I'll play around. You better get a VPN. And I'm so proud of a lot of you guys because now you guys email me and I started noticing like a bunch of you got Proton emails now. Proton is an encrypted email. They made it at CERN though, the Proton email. So I don't, but the internet was made at CERN too. Everything was freaking made at CERN. But it is it's probably one of the best VPNs out there. Whenever I'm on my VPN, I really don't have no problems. When I'm not on this VPN, my computer glitches, it messes up, it does all kinds of crazy shit. But even once in a while, I'll still have to factory reset it because the censorship's just getting good, man. It's AI learning how to censor. So you actually want to download the Brave search engine. You see over here, the only reason I use Microsoft is because it has all the cool features integrated into AI and stuff. So, like for my work and stuff like that, I use it. But earthquake map shows 9 states hit on the same morning. Let's check that real quick before we go over there. 9 states in the same morning. It's getting bad. Hey, Matrix Codebreaker, is this the one you told me about, brother? Didn't you just say we got hit with a bunch of earthquakes? I seen it. Hold on, let's go to our social media. If you go over here, guys, go to groups. It's on truthfultv.com. This is where you can book your personal decode, check out our shop. Here's my boy Matrix Codebreaker. He has 32 members now. He has his own thing called Matrix Codebreaker Corner. Go join it so we can get him off that 32 number. But I seen him do one the other day. Hundreds of miles. Oh, I'm not going to mention that. Oh, yeah, right here. Alaska is now getting rocked by 6.0 magnitude earthquakes, and this comes after the 7.0 earthquake we had in Cali. So, I forgot to log in. And then here's mine. Mine's got like 2,000 members, or 1,953 members, my bad, which is called Truthful Social. So you just got the calculator over there already. Bunch of different stuff. It's cool though. You could share your own stuff, your own area. And we just got it going. I just launched this like a couple of days ago. You have followers, people follow you. You get different badges, guys. I can give you badges depending on like how much stuff you share. If you're a content creator, if you're a mate, part of the main members, part of the Diamond family, then you can write your about part. See, here's the different badges. All my different posts that I have in here. Oh, that one's crazy. Some of them I got to go fix because when I reset this, I lost a bunch of my work. So I have to erase some of them because the videos are gone. It kind of sucks. But like if you would click on, let's say, for example, where's Matrix Code Breaker? Right here. So if you clicked on his, see he has his own area. 50 people following, 39 followers. He's a forum moderator. He's a writer. There's all of his badges. So it's pretty cool. We gamified it to make it fun, to make it very interactive. He's a meditation coach, content creator, main member, Diamond Family, VIP, Gematria, and a great friend of mine. Rising Star badge. That's one, bro. You just got that. Didn't even realize it, did you? That's one I did automated for people that share a lot. You get the X Eclipse badge, the Rising Star badge. That's the X Eclipse. But anyways, so you'll come over here, right? After you downloaded the Brave search engine, you'll type in F. I'm not going to say the rest because it'll flag it right away. You see what I put in there, guys? Here, let me zoom in for you, for our blind people. Oh, it won't let me zoom in. Damn it. Not on that part. Well, F, and then the word movies. And then just type enter. You'll see a couple of different variations come up. I forget which one's the newest one right now, and then I'll tell you about it. F Movies was a series of file streaming websites that host links to embedded videos, allowing users to stream or download movies for free. The site has been subject to legal action. Yeah, and I actually spoke to the guy that really owns the site, and he's got a VPN too. People think he's in another country. He actually lives in America. He's just triangulating multiple countries. They've already took him to court numerous times, but he don't give a shit, and I like him for that. So shout out to him, because if it wasn't for him, there's a lot of poor people out there that can't afford to have Netflix, HBO, all these different ones. I have them all. I posted in my Telegram. You guys seen what I'm paying a month, like $400 for just movie streaming. But I don't know any of them sites I have. I only have them for my TV over there, but I can't screen record on them. It won't let you screen record. It'll play the audio, but it'll just be black. So when I do my decodes or we watch a movie together, I got to come over here and use it. Because this will let you screen record on it. You can record the whole damn video. This is the one we told you about, Red One, that me and JD. Oh, it's in HD now too. That's awesome. I think it was in HD actually though when it first came out, which you don't see that very often. That's the one me and Donut are gonna do on Trump. It's pretty good. I thought it was good anyways. The new Venom, Matrix Codebreaker, did you like it? Spoiler alert, Venom dies at the end. I almost cried. And it's kind of weird how they get you to like Venom, and he's really the bad guy, and he represents the black goo, the nanotechnology. So it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? This one was too weird for me. I tried to watch it. I watched about half of it. Megalopolis. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's kind of stupid. But Gladiator 2 was phenomenal. Even the camera version. Okay, so like if a movie comes out, and let me get a drink, guys. My throat's dry as hell. If a movie comes out and it's still in the movie theater, it'll usually be on the camera version for like a week or two. And then once it gets on DVD, once it's out of the movie theater, it goes right to HD. But sometimes it'll go right to HD, like Red One. That's still in the movie theater, but some it's already on HD, and that's a perfect quality. Even the camera versions, most of the time, are perfect. Oh, season 2 of Bookie. I mean, this is my favorite show, guys. If you haven't watched Bookie, it is so funny, but it's only like 22 minutes an episode. So, oh man, I'm so happy. I'm going to watch that tonight. I'm going to have to move my computer over there to watch it, but that's okay. Cuz I got a brand new TV, huge TV, so I used to watch everything on my computer. I still haven't figured out how to use my smart TV and be able to get on here yet. I don't know how to do it. If someone knows how to do that, please teach me, because that would be awesome if I could do that. But anyways, this one, phenomenal. Silo, part 2's out. This is all about the plasma apocalypse, the Phoenix phenomenon, these global resets. I told Jay about it, Jay Dreamers. Me and him will probably decode it once he gets time to watch it. But where's that one I wanted you guys to watch? And if I wouldn't recommend this though. See how it's hiding Wicked? You got to type Wicked in. I don't know why. It doesn't show it to you until you type it in. It's right there. I watched it. 2 hours of the most trash I have ever seen in my life. I mean, it is trash. First of all, this is trash too. Joker, the new Joker. Joker and Wicked are about the same type of trash. I'm not a fan of musicals. I can deal with a musical if it's a good storyline and maybe a musical here and there, but not the whole damn thing all the way through. Joker wasn't a musical the whole way through. It had a story to it too. So it was better than Wicked in that aspect. But they both were trash. I wouldn't even waste your time on it, honestly. And then hold on a second. I want to see the other one of movies. So if you're not on the Brave search engine, you'll get pop-ups, and you might even get pop-ups if you're on Brave. I don't get them because I got a VPN. I got an anti-pop-up thing, anti-malware, so I don't get no pop-ups, none of that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, so there's this one. Then there's this one. That's still F movies. This one might have the newer stuff on it. So you gotta check them both. Yeah, it does. This one has the newer stuff. I think so. Oh yeah, right. See, it does, because there's Wicked and TS. So you got HD, camera, and TS. Camera or TS is it's not like it's way better than camera, but it's kind of like a way lower version than HD. I don't know how to really break it down any better than that. That new Smile one is crazy. That's the one me and Donut was talking about on Donut's 24-hour podcast. Oh, Arena Wars. I haven't seen that one yet. What's that all about? It looks kind of weird. Where's the one I just watched last night about the he was oh, this is good, Mary. My mom hated it. She said it was terrible because it's not biblically right. That's what my mother said. But shout out to my mom. I love her. There's one where there's a guy, he works at the airport, and he's one of them people that pat you down. And a bomb comes through. That was really good. I watched that. I just don't. It's on Netflix. There's like 4 new ones on Netflix that are real good right now. There's one with Ray Romano, too, guys. That's pretty phenomenal, where he accidentally kills his son because his son was burglarized in the neighbor's house and came in with a freaking ski mask on. And then, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you all about this. What's it called? Hold on, give me a second. My son, Topla King. Does anybody know where Elvis Presley was born? Hold on a second. So there's this new series, and it's about conspiracies. They're making fun of us in it, right? And I think it's like Tupla King or something. And the guy was a conspiracy person, and he worked at the hospital. So they told him to go in and clean up well, he wasn't a conspiracy person at this time. He owned a company. He was an Elvis impersonator, him and his brother. And they told him to go in and clean up the morgue at the hospital down in Memphis. I think it's like Topla, Memphis or something. And he goes in there, he's cleaning up, and he's in a hazmat suit. So he starts to get real hot, and he says he gets thirsty. He wanted Dr. Pepper. So he opens up the fridge, which I don't know why you would do that in a mortuary. There's going to be Dr. Peppers and Coca-Cola in there, bro. But anyways, he opens it up, and there's a severed head in there. There's all these body parts labeled skin. So he just starts, telling everybody about it, everybody he works with. And they pull him up, fire him, try to make him sign something. So he can't figure out why they did that. He's like, what the hell? And he goes home, and this is like when the internet first came out. So he gets on the internet and starts looking into organ harvesting. And it's kind of interesting because when I shared that Kanika Jenkins video that just is going viral right now, the reason I shared it is because I seen other people were doing videos on organ harvesting and Kanika Jenkins, and I'm like, damn, that case is older, but let me go back and re-look at it again. So then I found them clips and I made that video of it, but I didn't know this came out yet. So it's been, me and my son were talking about this today. Whenever one of these big videos go viral on a certain subject, you'll notice like a week leading up to that, they'll have many conspiracy theories or stories on TikTok, Instagram that they let go viral. It's like all part of it. I don't fully understand it yet, how it works. Hold on one second. Where was Elvis born? Yeah, okay. I know how to spell it now. I'm about to say I could not spell that shit. I see it down here. This one is really good, and you can find it on Netflix or watch it over here. Pello King. Is it Kings or Kings? No, that's not it. Hold on a second. Oops. Damn it. Maybe I'll be on there. Black Dove, that one was okay. I wouldn't recommend it to no one though. It was all right. Let me put it in. Hold on a second. TUP. I think it's King or Kings. I can't remember. Oh, a King of Topla. That's why. There we go. I was messing it up. My bad, guys. This is it. The King of Tupelo. I know I'm butchering that right now. And I apologize to all the people from there. I don't know how to pronounce it. So I apologize. But it was so good. Even my son loved it, Carmine. He binge watched it. So this guy, he ends up becoming like the biggest conspiracy theory ever. And they're making fun of conspiracy theorists throughout the whole thing. Well, in the end, so people are calling him crazy. His family disowns him. His wife starts banging his brother. And then the whole time, he was right. The whole town where Elvis grew up, from the mayors to the politicians, all the way up to the White House, they're selling organs, guys. And they came and arrested. First of all, one of the politicians tried to kill him, tried to set him up to kill him, and try to make it look like a staged fight and was going to blow his head off. And then they raided his crib and freaking try to charge him with sending Obama, what's that shit called? Not anthrax. Something like that, though. But it wasn't anthrax, it was something else. Something even crazier than anthrax. It's like some deadly poison shit. And they said he sent it to the judge, which the judge, she was involved. Her son owns all the funeral homes. He's a politician there, and he was trafficking organs. And then so he was going on like all these talk boards. You know how we all communicate. And so say you went over on Truthful TV over here, right? And there was a organ harvest talk board on here, and people are telling you guys about different people trafficking organs. He was on something like that. And this one lady's like, look into this person. I think he stole my dad's organs, this lady. And he starts looking into it. He starts connecting the dots. So then he's telling his brother about it. He's telling his wife. Nobody's listening to him. They're making fun of him. And it turns out, like maybe a year or two down the road, the news comes on. He's sitting at home all depressed. He done lost his job. His wife's been giving his brother reach arounds, rubbing tugs and shit. And boom, that story breaks where the guy that he was investigating online had a freaking little hospital, like a chop shop in his funeral home. And there was a whole connection of funeral homes where they were stealing people's organs, which I don't even know how you steal organs in funeral homes. Like, what are you doing? Killing people? They must have been bringing people in there and killing them. Because I know around here, I'm in Canton, Ohio. So Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, you hear about people trafficking in narcotics and making money, but one of the biggest hustles around here, guys, and it's scary. It's scary as shit. That's why you young girls out there, you need to be very careful because these young kids don't give a shit. And these young dudes now, what they'll do is they'll take these girls out that they meet online, especially girls that are drug addicts or don't have no family members, and they'll take you out, spike your bottle, get you all fucked up, you nod out. Next thing you know, you wake up at one of these middleman houses, which they just sold you to him for $10,000. Now he's going to sell you to the chop shop where, they got these so-called doctors. Some of them are real doctors. Some of them are people that went to medical school. Some are people that lost their license. But this is a multi-billion-dollar empire, and it's in every major city. They're actually stealing people, date raping them, and really stealing their fucking organs. And I'm not talking about you're going to wake up missing a kidney in a bathtub. Oh, no, no, no. That would be, okay, maybe I can survive. Oh, you're not waking up ever. They're taking everything. Your heart, kidneys, lungs, liver, skin. They sell the eyeballs, the bones. I was wondering when I was reading this list, I'm like, what the hell do they sell the skin and eyeballs and bones for? What the hell are they doing with that? Probably something these elites do. Who knows? I mean, they have and look at the Skull and Bones logo. Straight Skull and Bones. That's the cover of it, guys. That's the cover of it. And his name, he signs everything. KC. KC. That's his initials. What's that? K is 11. C is 3. 113. 113. Where's that come from, guys? What's that number from? The reptilians, the Phoenicians, right? The ones that are probably stealing our freaking organs and probably have a whole human market. You know what I mean? I thought I had a slide up here. Oh, right here. His initials, KC, which is 113. So just take a gander there. That's some 113 stuff. Phoenicians, which were the Canaanites. Vampires is 113. Alien reptilians is 113. It comes from the Babylonian Talmud in the Baba Kamal that states the Jews use lies to circumvent the Gentile. Perjury 113, dishonest 11, which I don't blame them. Several of my best friends are Jewish, so I'm not attacking Jewish people here. Shout out to my boy Donut. You guys know I love him. It's like my brother. If Italians and Cubans and Scottish people, we should have all lied to other people too, and stayed more in our community. But that's actually in the Talmud. And what else is in the Talmud is talking about these damn reptilians. It talks about the aquatic freaking lizard reptilians in there. Look, right here. Boom. The Nephilim. Because they caused the downfall of the world. They were some demon, a species of lizard living in the water. Sounds like Dagon and his crew to me, right, guys? So there's definitely some it's the demons. That's what they are. They're not reptilian aliens from the Draco freaking star system. That's the lie part of it. But the reptilians are real. They're very real. They're just demonic. They're the same demons that are from the freaking Bible. But yeah, dude, he signs all of his letters, KC. And I remember when I was watching it last night, I'm like, damn, why does he keep saying KC over and over again? Then I'm like, oh, duh, Tommy, you dummy, K, 113. I'm like, holy shit. So and that's a number of dishonest, not true, illusion, disinfo, mainstream, perjury. So, there's probably a lot of lies in it too. But I'm sure the organ harvesting part is 100% true. I'm not saying his story is true, but I believe they do that in a major way. Not that I believe, I know for a fact they do it. I know a place right now, not in my city, but in Akron, where you can actually take people and get $10,000 a body. You take anybody up there, boom, take them in there, they pay you 10 G's, and then they're probably, who knows how much they make off it, Just like if you took a car to the chop shop, you might get 10 grand for the car, and then the chop shop, people think they chop it down and sell it for parts. Yeah, that happens at times, but most of the time they take them cars like a brand new car. If you steal a new Benz or something, they're gonna go put it in a shipping container and ship it over to Europe or ship it to Africa. And believe it or not, a lot of the cars that go stolen from America get shipped to Africa. There's a lot of rich people in Africa. I never knew that. I mean, I knew there was rich people in Africa, but I didn't know that a big majority of our cars that go stolen in America get shipped there. Like Nigeria is getting a shit ton of our cars. And it's the higher class people in them countries that are getting them. So just like our stolen cars go there, our stolen children go to the other places. And then when they're done and they can't use them anymore, they got them. But this, I'm not talking about children. This, I'm talking about they'll take a 30, 40, 50-year-old person and got them. But they like people between a certain age bracket. You get more money. You know what I mean? If they're like 18, I forget what it is. I shouldn't even know this, but it's like 18 to 30 something. I think it's like 18 to 31 or 18 to 30. In that age bracket, you get more money. And the only reason I know that is because I know a lot of people from the street. So I know a lot of different things that are going on in these big cities. And that's just a major hustle. My dude from Chicago, he told me too. He's like, bro, that shit, people are making more money on that than they are on drugs. There's people making more money where they'll just take these girls out, get them drunk, boom. Not even just girls. Sometimes it might be one of your dudes. You think these dudes are your friends. Next thing you know, you're going to a party, boom, you wake up in a freaking chop shop, and you're the freaking product. I mean, that's scary. Imagine that. Do you guys remember that video I had on my other channel when I had TommyTruthful.com? Well, that video actually got that whole page taken down. Do you guys remember the human chop shop video I had over there? It was so hard to watch though, because they had a line of kids, guys. And this little girl, she was crying, screaming for her mother, and they didn't care. They just picked her up, put her over this tub thing, laid her on the chair, and then in the next room, there's some people in there that are actually chopping the bodies up after, cutting the legs off, cutting the meat like into steaks and shit. I don't know what the hell they were doing. If they were selling that meat, I think they were. But it was the weirdest shit. It was like a whole factory where you would go to a factory to see a pig or a chicken or a cow be slaughtered. It was just like that, except humans. And anybody that's been following me for a long time, I'm sure there's many of you that remember that video. I know recently I've had numerous people hit me up and say, Tommy, what happened to that video? I want to show my. This one guy asked me, I'm not going to say his name, but he asked me, he said, I want to show my buddy at work. And I haven't heard from him since then. But if he's listening to this, just know I did get your message. I don't have the video anymore, bud, but I'm sure I can find it again. But that got my whole website taken down. And then I got the website put back up after that, but it got my website taken down for like 3 months. And then right after it got put back up, I had already bought Truth Mafia, so there kind of was no reason to even have that one anymore. So now when you type in TommyTruthful.com, it just reroutes you to Truth Mafia. But yeah, it was hard to watch, man. It was some crazy stuff. It was going on over in one of them. I don't know. It's either an African country or Arabic. One of the two. I really am not sure. I don't want to say the wrong, assumption. But yeah, I know. And when they do the heart, they can't numb you. They can't give them anesthesia. It's crazy. Like, these people are evil. And then when they're doing that, Amanda, they're probably harvesting something else, right? Because the torture, the fear. So they're harvesting the most expensive drug in the world, the adrenal. And while that's being harvested, these entities they're working with, demons, are feeding on that loosh that's being produced by these victims. So yeah, man, it's dark. It's a dark world. That type of stuff is hard to talk about. It's hard to look into, but it's a necessity because if we don't bring attention to it, then it just gets covered up and people act like it's not happening when it is, and it's an epidemic. And there's actually places now that your daughter might go out on her first date and not come home. That's scary. You know what I mean? That's why my kid, when thank God she's still good and doesn't. My daughter, she smokes weed. She's 16 now, but she's still a virgin. She goes to little parties here and there, but she also knows how to protect herself. All my kids went through many different forms of jiu-jitsu and shit like that, but it still scares me because she's still just a little thing. Her brothers, I know they would handle it if something happened, but what are you going to do after the fact, right? It's scary being a parent at this day and age, thinking about this type of stuff. You just look away for a second and your kid's gone. I've told this story before when I wasn't real young, but Vincenzo was just born, so he was probably like 2 at the time. My boy Mario, which he's 14 now, the quarterback, the one that plays football, and him and Carly were outside playing. Carmine, my oldest boy, who's 19, he's working now and doing the iron work. He's about to buy his first house. He's the one that helped me build that website, but he was over helping me garden, and we were actually composting. So I had this whole garden. I was composting stuff, and we're bent down behind a fence, so you can't see us from the street. Me and Carmine are bent behind this wooden fence, so you couldn't see me there. You could only see Carmine, or not Carmine, Vincenzo, and his sister, and this old freaking weirdo, old heavyset white dude in a black Cadillac with gray interior. I'll never forget the car. Never. He pulled up and tried to coax my daughter into the car with the candy. And Vincenzo was smaller than her at the time and grabbed her hand. Carly started walking towards the dude. She was going to go towards him. And Vinny grabs her hand, and then Carmine jumped up because I wasn't paying much attention. I was in the middle of doing what I was doing, and Carmine jumped up and flipped out. And when I stood up to see what Carmine was yelling at, this dude peeled off. If you could see his eyes, guys, that's when my heart dropped to my stomach because I'm like, oh my God, this motherfucker was up to something. He was really going to snatch my damn kid. At that second, I realized, and I was in the middle. Look this place up. It's called Marlboro, Ohio. It's out by like Hartville. It's super nice. There's rich people out there. You would never think something like this would happen there. You know what I mean? And a matter of fact, where I was living, the chief of police lived diagonal from us. Swear to God. And he was out mowing his damn yard. He was mowing his yard. There was a church right across the street, and the guy that was trying to coax my daughter into his car, he pulled into the church parking lot to lure her in there. I mean, this dude had balls. I never seen him again after that either. I used to watch out for that dude. That was probably God that didn't let me see him, because if I would have, you wouldn't be talking to me here today. I'll tell you that. I'd be in the penitentiary for life. I would have tried to get away with it, but, it wouldn't have been a good outcome. I can promise you that one. I told her mom when she got home that day, like, I was in shock, guys. I couldn't believe it. I just, you hear about these stories, but when it's your own kid and you see something like that and it gets that close, and I know that he didn't touch her or nothing like that. He didn't get her in the car, but imagine if I wasn't out there and he would have got her to the car, or he jumped out and grabbed her, and then boom, there's my little girl gone. That happens to families every day. So that's why I think it's so important that we bring attention to this type of stuff. There's kids out there right now that are living, some of them survive, some go through trauma-based mind control, some of them get sold into sex slavery, some of them are used in other ways, some of them are used up and then they take their organs. I mean, there's so many terrible, nightmarish things that can happen to them. It's crazy, and a lot of them go missing from America. I think we're one of the number one countries where the children go missing, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But yeah, scary world, man. We did a long one tonight, though, guys. 2 hours and 6 minutes. So, I want to tell you that last series for you guys to watch. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. New Ray Romano Netflix series. This one's really good. No Good Deed. It's called No Good Deed, guys. No Good Deed. That's on Netflix. I was shocked how good it was. I kind of was just bored, so I decided to watch it, and I ended up binge watching it. It was actually really, really good. It's who's that blonde girl? I forget her name. Damn, she's famous though. Hold on, I'll show you guys her. Maybe you guys will know her name. I mean, she's famous as hell. I just can't think of her. She's super funny. I think she was on Friends or something back in the day? She was the goofy one. Was that girl on Friends, guys? Is that where she got famous from? Because if she was on Friends, that would be even crazier. Because there's that whole Friends narrative going on. It's been going on for a while now. Since Matthew Perry died, Leave the World Behind had all the Friends thing. I'm not sure, though, if she played in Friends. But this was a really, really good movie. 22 Emmy winning. Or it's a series anyways, but yeah, it's really good though. So that's my recommendations for you guys. I highly recommend this one. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's deep. It's real deep. It has a pretty good ending too to it. So that's what I got for you. Make sure you guys go check out the new videos over on truthmafia.com. Don't forget to go on truthfultv.com and get your decode. Not only get your decode, though, go over there and join our social media platform. It's free. And then we don't got to worry about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube censoring. You can share whatever you want, and I'm interacting over there all the time. So it's a really cool place. Matrix Codebreaker, he's always doing his breakdowns. It's just a really cool place to interact. And the more people we can get over there, guys, we can get away from these mainstream platforms, which is what my goal is. So before I go, is there any questions anyone has or anything real quick before we wrap this up? Why do you have this little green thing by your name? That little weird looking thing right there. Are you a subscriber or something? Because your name looks different than everybody else's. It's green. I don't know. I did give out some free subscription things, so I didn't know if maybe you were a subscriber, and that's why your thing looked like that. And Kimberly, thank you so much for promoting and doing all the moderizer stuff. You and all my beautiful, amazing moderators. Did I say moderizer? Damn it. Too many edibles tonight, Tommy. Who else did I see in there? I wish I could just give out the free membership thing on YouTube to anybody that I wanted to, because then I'd definitely give Kimberly one. But it doesn't let you just pick some randomly. I guess it picks whoever interacts the most. That's what J Dreams told me anyway. So I'll be giving more out the first of the month. Every first of the month, we can give out 10 free memberships, and then you can join. I kept mine cheap. The cheapest one is 99 cents. Then there's one for $2.99, $3.99, and then a content creator one. But that's for people that have YouTubes. That one's like $40. But for that one, you get, if it's like, say you're a YouTube channel and you only got a couple hundred subscribers and you're trying to blow up. So you get that one, you email me, send me your info. And for that whole month, for as many months as you stay part of that membership, I'll promote you. I'll put all your links in all my descriptions on every video I do. I'll promote you, share your stuff on my Instagram, my YouTube, my Facebook with over 350,000. Wait, not 350,000, 330,000 or something followers. But we had several videos that went crazy viral in the last 2 days. So our reach is back up there again. I think we hit 4 million people this month, which is bigger than a lot of these mainstream media platforms. So with that being said, I love y'all. Thank you so much, because we couldn't do it without you guys. Hit that like button, share the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Truthful, out.
Yo, we living in a sim, reality's a game. NPCs around us, they all look the same. Soulless entities controlled by AI. Quantum computer running life, asking why. Are you just a player, controlled by machine? Or a first player character, living the dream? Tap into the code, break free from the lies. Decode your Gematria, see through their disguise. In the simulation, what's your role, what's your fate? Are you real or controlled, can you navigate? Elites use Gematria, secrets in the code. Find out your archetype, let the truth unfold. Super quantum computer, pulling all the strings. NPCs moving like puppets on a swing. The Matrix got nothing on the life we lead. Green letters falling is the truth we need. Are you just a player, controlled by machine? Or a first player character, living the dream? Tap into the code, break free from the lies. Decode your Gematria, see through their disguise. In the simulation, what's your role, what's your fate? Are you real or controlled, can you navigate? Elites use Gematria, secrets in the code. Find out your archetype, let the truth unfold. Archetypes defined from NPCs to Neo. First players rise, let your true self show. Do the